Hey everyone, and welcome back. I am so excited we get to read not one, but two books today. And I'm excited because, well, you'll see what we're reading. It's a real treat. So before we jump into our first book, let's talk about our riddle. Today's riddle, as all things should be, is just a bit goofy and silly. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you figure it out. But no worries if you can't figure it out. As always, at the end of our video, after we read our second book, our chapter book, we will go over the answer to our riddle together. So, what is our riddle? Our riddle is, what can't you fit into a saucepan? Well, if you read our book with us, last chapter book we read was George's Marvelous Medicine. He could fit just about anything into that saucepan, so that one's going to be a thinker. Well, let's get to our first book.
My Friend is Sad by Mo Willems. Oh. My friend is sad. I will make him happy. Huh? Yee-haw! A cowboy! Oh. Gerald loves cowboys, but he is still sad. Huh? Doing some juggling. A clown! Oh my goodness. Look, he's juggling with his feet. What a talent. Oh my gosh, on one hoof. Oh, clowns are funny, but he is still sad. What? Oh my goodness, what do we got going on here? A robot! You can see he's struggling to make the robot dance. Oh, how can anyone be sad around a robot? Oh no, he's very sad. Piggy! Gerald. I'm sorry. I wanted to make you happy, but you are still sad. I'm not sad now. I'm happy. Look, he's a lot happier. What happened? You are happy? I'm happy because you are here. Aww. But I was so sad, Piggy. So very sad. I saw a cowboy. But you love cowboys. Look at him. Oh no. I do love cowboys, but you were not there to see him. Oh my gosh, she's shaking him. Well, in fact, there was more. Then I saw a clown. A funny, funny clown. Look at his face. But you were not there to see him. But there was more. Oh my gosh. He yelled so loud he blew the piggy away. I saw a robot. A cool robot. Look, he's doing the robot. And my best friend was not there to see it with me. Sad. But, you see, I'm here now. You are here now. My friend is here now. Aww. I need my friends. You need new glasses. The end. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed our book. Now, let's go do our positive action.
Today, our positive action or positive tip is going to, again, focus in on a big feeling. So we've talked about anger, we've talked about love and worry, but now we're focusing in on jealousy. So, who here has ever been green with envy? If you guys have, you've most certainly been jealous. Jealousy is when we're kind of jealous, we're envious, we want what other people have. We want it, and we're not too happy that they have it. And that's not a great look, is it? No. Because we should be happy for our friends, right? Say our friend gets a cool new toy, but we wanted the same one and just couldn't get it. Are we going to be angry with them, treat them differently, maybe be a little mean and nasty to them just because they have a toy that we didn't get? Absolutely not. That's not how kindness works, is it? Spoiler alert, it's not. We've got to be happy for our friends. We'd want them to be happy for us, right? So this is a good jumping point for learning more about jealousy. I'm sure we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Hint, hint. So make sure to tune in. All right, now let's go read our second book. I am so excited to see what happens next, guys. Are you guys ready to get back to the wonderfully wacky world of James and the Giant Peach? I know I am. If you guys last remember, we left James running. He was trying to see what was happening with the peach tree because if you recall, the old gentleman who gave James the bag of crocodile tongues, well, James spilled it everywhere. And the old man said, whatever the magic tongues get to first is what is going to get its magic. And it seems like the peach tree might have gotten that magic. So, let's keep reading and find out what happens. James came running over. I want you to pick that peach up there on the highest branch, Aunt Sponge went on. Can you see it? Yes, Aunt Sponge, I can see it. And don't you dare eat any of it for yourself. Your Aunt Spiker and I are going to have it between us, right here, right now, half each. Get on with you. Up you go. James crossed over the tree trunk. Stop, Aunt Spiker said quickly. Hold everything. She was staring up into the branches with her mouth wide open and her eyes bulging as though she had seen a ghost. Look, she said. Look, Sponge, look. What's the matter with you? Aunt Sponge demanded. It's growing, Aunt Spiker cried. It's getting bigger and bigger. What is? The peach, of course. You're joking. Well, look for yourself. By my dear Spiker, that's perfectly ridiculous. That's impossible. That's... Now wait, just a minute. No, that just can't be right. No. Yes. Great Scott, the thing is really growing. It's nearly twice as big already, Aunt Spiker shouted. It can't be true. It's true. It must be a miracle. Watch it. I am watching it. Great heavens alive, Aunt Spiker yelled. I can actually see the thing bulging and swelling before my very eyes. Part 7. The two women and the small boy stood absolutely still on the grass underneath the tree, gazing up at the extraordinary fruit. James's little face was glowing with excitement. His eyes were as big and bright as 2 stars. He could see the peach swelling larger and larger, as clearly as if it were a balloon being blown up. In half a minute, it was the size of a melon. In just another half minute, it was twice as big again. Just look at it growing, Aunt Spiker cried. Will it ever stop? Aunt Sponge shouted, waving her fat arms and starting to dance around in circles. And now it was so big it looked like an enormous butter-colored pumpkin dangling from the top of the tree. Get away from the tree trunk, you stupid boy, Aunt Spiker yelled. The slightest shake and I'm sure it'll fall off. It must weigh 20 or 30 pounds at least. The branch that the peach was growing upon was beginning to bend over further and further because of the weight. Stand back, Aunt Sponge shouted. It's coming down. The branch is going to break. But the branch didn't break. It simply bent over more and more and more as the peach got heavier and heavier. And still it went on growing. In another minute, this mammoth fruit was as large and round and fat as Aunt Sponge herself, and probably just as heavy. "It has to stop now," Aunt Spiker yelled. "It can't go on forever." But it didn't stop. Soon it was the size of a small car and reached halfway to the ground. Both ants were now hopping around and around the tree, clapping their hands and shouting all sorts of silly things in their excitement. "Hallelujah!" Aunt Spiker shouted. "What a peach! What a peach!" "Terrifico!" Aunt Sponge cried out. "Magnifico! Splendifico! Oh, what a meal!" "It's still growing." I know. As for James, he was so spellbound by the whole thing that he could only stare and murmur quietly to himself, "Oh, isn't it beautiful? It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." "Shut up, you little twerp," Aunt Spiker snapped, happening to overhear him. "It's none of your business." "That's right," Aunt Sponge declared. "It's got nothing to do with you whatsoever. Keep out of it." "Look," Aunt Spiker shouted. "It's growing faster than ever now. It's speeding up." Here is a quick picture of the peach tree. As you can see, it is getting absolutely massive. Can you imagine seeing that, just going for a walk and you come across a giant peach in a tree? That's craziness. "I see it, Spiker, I do. Bigger and bigger grew the peach, bigger and bigger and bigger. Then at last, when it had become nearly as tall as the tree that it was growing on, as tall and wide, in fact, as the small house, the bottom of it rested gently on the ground. And there it stayed. "It can't fall off now," Aunt Sponge shouted. "It stopped growing," Aunt Spiker cried. "No, it hasn't." "Yes, it has." "It's slowing down," Spiker said. "It's slowing down. But it hasn't stopped yet. You watch it." There was a pause. "It has now. I believe you're right. Do you think it's safe to touch it?" "I don't know. We'd better be careful." Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker began walking slowly round the peach, inspecting it very cautiously from all sides. They were just like a couple of hunters who had just shot an elephant and were not quite sure whether it was alive or dead. And the massive round fruit towered over them so high that they looked like midgets from another world beside it. The skin of the peach was very beautiful, a rich, buttery yellow with patches of brilliant pink and red. Aunt Sponge advanced cautiously and touched it with the tip of her finger. "It's ripe," she cried. "It's just perfect. Now look here, Spiker. Why don't we go and get a shovel right away and dig it out a great big chunk just for you and me to eat?" "No," Aunt Spiker said. "Not yet." "Huh. Why ever not yet?" "Because I say so." "But I can't wait to eat some," Aunt Spiker cried out. She was watering at the mouth now, and a thin trickle of spit was running down the side of her chin. "My dear Sponge," Aunt Spiker said slowly, winking to her sister and smiling at the sky, a thin-lipped smile. "There's a pile of money to be made out of this. Only we can handle it right. You wait and see." All right, we'll pick up on part 8 when we come back in our next video. Oh my goodness, guys. Is this not getting absolutely crazy? They're gonna sell the peach? I wonder what they'll do. I know the ants are now thinking about making money off of it. Well, we'll just have to stay tuned and see exactly what they do. But now, we've got a riddle to solve. So, who remembers our riddle? Do you? I do. Our riddle was, what can't you put into the saucepan? And no, don't think of our last chapter book, George's Marvelous Medicine, because that boy, he put everything in there, and certainly was not an example. Did you get it? Did you guess the answer? Our answer is the sauce's lid. The lid from the saucepan. Silly, right? But hey, you got to be thinking hard to think of it, and that's why we're here. So, it's been a wonderful day getting to spend it with you all, but now it's time to go. I'm so excited to see you tomorrow. Bye! Thank you for watching.